I see a sea of the same scenes. I see a sea of R.I.P. I see a sea of I can't breathe. I see a sea of eyes flooded in grief. I see a sea of hashtags. I see a sea of Black Lives Matter. And at first, I couldn't speak. Just had to sit and observe the situation, the elevated outcry, and with the utmost respect to all lives that have been lost. What? It was different this time. This shit's been happening, innit? Shit's been happening. Black lives been mattering. Lives taken away, blood drained from veins unjustly for as long as these systems have flipping existed. The same picture repeats. Just an update for the era, if his knees or noose on the neck, just the oppressor's preference, I guess. So I wonder, why? This time, do I see my timeline light up with white cries of Black Lives Matter, cries that leak out of mouths that have previously been silent? Why now? The will of white allies I see online everywhere. Don't take my words. Don't take my words. Don't take my words and twist them. White allyship has always been needed in this resistance. I said, don't take my words and twist them. White allyship has always been needed in this resistance. Look back at the civil rights in the 60s and the 70s and you will see white faces. And I do not wish to be a cynic. If it's genuine, I'm here for it. But why? Why now? What's different? Maybe it was the words of Miss Davis that it is no longer enough to just be non-racist. Maybe now is the time, now is the time, maybe now is the time, now feels right, the time to be actively non-racist, or maybe, because we are in a time of global crisis, because empathy and relating to others is at the forefront of everyone's thinking and feeling, because it's the latest trend or trope on social media, because your silence now goes against the anti-racist sentiment that is being shoved in front of your face, that you can't escape from. All cynicism aside, this is needed. Required, but please, do not engage in this moment out of fashionability. Do not ride a wave of hashtags and empty notions of Black Lives Matter just until the tide passes, until the next life lost, and 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 the next life lost. Will a genocide stop? Huh? Because all these words, fucking great to hear. But what I need to see now is action. Action or apathy, what are you choosing? Because I can rewind in my mind to one-sided debates against my all-white classmates, year 8, telling them that you should be as offended by racism as I am, because the ism is not a flipping black people problem. The ism is a people problem, and no one backing me. At least not actively. No one willing to throw their voice into the spotlight, open to be picked apart by sharp tongues and blunted by ignorant minds, because standing up and speaking out is the right thing to do, not the right thing to be seen to be doing. So if you're speaking out now, great. Amazing. But that alone will not get you ratings. Ratings in 6 months' time, ratings in a year, ratings in a decade down the line if you've kept the same energy. keep that same energy. If it's a house party, it's 4 in the morning and the convo's popped up, it's awkward, now nobody's talking, keep the same energy. When you can see that hours is being drained from answering the same questions over and over and over and over again, keep that same energy. When it's easier not to. When it goes against your convenience, keep that same energy. When all the options open back up, when the lockdown is lifted, and we can all go back to our own lives, keep that same energy. Keep that same flipping energy. And you are silently called upon to resurrect the stillborn sentiments from the throat of a black mouth. Keep that same energy. When their voice is trampled by a bigot shout, keep that same energy. When a mix of gas and tears that still linger in the air, keep that same energy. Will you still boil inside when the heat dies down? Action or apathy? A step forward in the road of change, a dissolution of old ways, and choices that need to be made. Because we need to ensure now that this is not just a moment. We need to ensure that this is more than a moment, that this is a movement. Because you know what, man, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it being just a few friends that you can confide in properly. I'm tired of having to explain so many things about my existence. I'm tired of not just being able to be. Can't just be a writer. It's got to be a black writer. Everything gets turned to that certain angle, and sometimes you want to express that. You want to show those sides of yourself, but when you ain't got a choice, man, that shit's long. So I was saying before, I'm so glad that this moment's opened up. But forgive me if there is a bit of apathy in the background of like, where are we going with this? Really need you to commit. It's a spit in my face if it's a flash in a pan. You just chuck up a quick black square and then what, you duck out again 6 months down the line. I'm not on it. So don't pretend. I'd rather you be honest with yourself now. How much of yourself are you willing to actually give to this cause? Because I'm about to dedicate my life to it. Fully. So I can resurrect some of those stillborn sentiments from the throat of this black mouth. When you're trying to speak to people and no one's hearing, and your experience is denied, constantly pushed back into your mind, bouncing off the walls in there. Why? When we see the reality of it every single day. So now that your eyes are starting to become open to the reality too, give us space sometimes. Understand where the frustration comes from, and it runs real deep. There's so much to speak and say on this, evidently. It's not going to be an instant thing. There's going to be a lot of work all around for a lot of healing that needs to take place. So yeah, I've said my piece. Thank you.